He needs a bath, I think. He's got little flakes of dander. And this is something I got. I don't know what I was going to do with it. Put jars for screws and bolts and stuff in it. And I'm still going to do that, but it's for Scott for his birthday coming up. I have 4 mayonnaise jars that'll fit in there perfectly. And these dividers that can go in between. Only came with 2 dividers, so I'm making a 3rd one out of Masonite. That's the plan, Stan. Today is April 1st. Happy birthday, Manolis, Paschalidis. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it in Greek. Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. He's 10 years younger than I am. And a million times more talented. And a very good guy with a big heart. So if you happen to check out Manolis' vlog, or he was in a band called Intalk, Intalk. Now he plays with Adam Paschalidis, and they have a girl singer. Well, anyway, hopefully you can find him. Maybe I'll put his name down below, and you can look for him. Wish him happy birthday. Today's April 1st, as I mentioned, which is usually April Fool's Day. April Fish Day to the French, because they don't know what April Fool's is. They know what Fish Day is. That's where you take a paper fish with tape and you go up behind someone and go, "Hi, buddy," and put it on their back, and they walk around with a fish on their back. That's what I heard anyway. I had a French supervisor and Christian when I worked at the dental lab 43 years ago. Christian was by all means a dentist, an orthodontist as well in France, but in this country he was like the supervisor of the denture department. And I finished dentures. That's what my job was. I started out making teeth models, and then I ended in finishing dentures, which I loved that job. I loved that job. I'd still be doing it today if the boss wouldn't have let me go because I was female and just a baby maker. That's his opinion. He doesn't understand that women can do more than one thing at a time. I don't know. His name was Adolf, but he went by his middle name, Terry. Very flamboyant. Nice guy, but he was super business, And I was too, but just the fact that I was female. So straight white men not believing that women can do stuff, they're not the only ones that believe women can't do stuff. It takes all kinds in the world, and there are definitely all kinds. What the heck, Cheryl? It's almost noon here, and if you still have some April Fool Day left in your day, here's some funny stuff you can do. I'll tell you of something in the past, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do today. The Christian, as I mentioned, was French. And I came in April Fool's Day at work, and he had loafers on. Those are the slip-on kind of shoes. And I said, "Oh, Christian, your shoe's untied." They're supposed to look down or put their foot up on the chair to look down at their shoe to tie it or whatever. He looks down at his shoes, and he looks over at me like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm laughing, and he's like, "She must be crazy." They don't have that tradition. He didn't have that tradition, which was funny to me. Another time, I had this Sicilian boyfriend for about 10 years. He had a lot of other girls too, but we were doing work on a building he was buying. We were doing reconstruction and tiling and painting and siding and all kinds of stuff, and I was helping him learn how to do it. Yeah, I know how to do that stuff. He was driving, and the woman that he was buying the building through, because he was not a citizen, so he bought it through her social number. They had an account, and she was the one that did the paperwork and the deposits and all that. I don't know if she still lives there. It's a duplex down in the city, like a old 100-year-old, right now it's probably 120, 125-year-old building. And the bottom needed a bunch of work. The top had windows done already, and they had all new electric, so I didn't have to worry about that. But we're driving, we went from Habitat for Humanity, where we got a lot of supplies, because a lot of those old buildings had been taken down, and a lot of the parts for like the weights and that go in the old windows, the chains and weights, and a lot of the things that only can go with an old house, were at the Habitat. So we go there and get our parts, and we are on the way to the house to work on it. And this woman calls him while he's driving. He answers the phone. Back in the day when you don't talk through your car, you pick the phone and put it next to your head. And he had a funny look on his face. And then the blood drained out of his face. It literally drained out of his face. He looked like he'd seen a ghost that was going to kill him. And then when he hung up, he was really, really, really worried. And I said, "What's wrong?" PJ said that she quit her job. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I said, "Well, let's just take this one thing at a time." What exactly did she say? She said she was told the boss something, and she quit her job, and now she has no money. And I said, "Wait a minute. She quit today?" That's what she said. And I said, "What is today?" "It's Wednesday." I said, "But what day of the month is it?" "The 1st of April?" "Yes." He was Italian. They have similar things. He knew about April Fool's Day, but they also did it differently. And I said, "April 1st is April Fool's Day." "Yes." "It's a joke. She did not quit her job." "Why would someone joke like that?" And I said, "Because she thinks it's funny." "It's not funny." I said, "I know it's not funny." So later in the day, when the day was through, I sent him an email with an appropriate type of an April Fool's joke for his situation. "You have won a contest." And I put very silly names in there. And a company name that's very silly. I said, "You have won 2 weeks in not Afghanistan, something. You won 2 weeks in the Ural Mountains in a 20-foot yurt," which is like a portable house, tent-like thing. "You will dine every morning on toast with yak butter." And, I went all out and was extra silly. And he says, "What is this?" He replied back, "What is this?" And I said, "It's an April Fool. It's the kind of April Fool that people should do, not what was done to you." So even though something's funny, and it's known to be funny in your country or whatever, think before you send it. If your person you're sending it to just went through a death in the family and a lot of sadness or a fire in the house or something really, really bad, don't send them a joke that had anything to do with that kind of stuff. That's not funny. It's silly. The sillier the better, because a fool is a silly person. So the sillier the better. Today, if I go with Brian to pick up Spencer in a couple hours, I'm going to draw on a mustache, a big mustache, and I might wear something really silly on my head, like underpants or something. That way, people will know that 1, I'm nuts. 2, I enjoy April Fool's Day. Other things, well, something I did in the past, which was not very good, and I got in trouble, was I put sugar in the salt. I took the salt out of the salt shaker and I put sugar in there. Other things you can do are, golly, what can you do? You could go through the sock drawer. It's going to take the other guy a time to undo it. You could take all the socks, or put a pair of red sock to a blue sock and a blue sock to a brown one. For their, let's say, 10 pairs of socks. You just mix and match. That's harmless, okay? It's something you can do. And then, things like that. Or it all depends. Rearrange 2 chairs, the recliner and the rocker, or whatever, change things around a little bit, or short sheet the bed. Now, I don't know how to do that, but that's a way you can make the bed where they pull back the top cover to get in, and they can't get in because the bottom cover is folded over, so that their legs get trapped. You see, it all depends on who you're fooling, whether they will take the joke or not. Make it very, very innocuous. Just do something really totally silly. Or you can open the refrigerator before they get up and you move things around, unless they're the kind that are real anal about it. But those are the kind of April Fool's jokes you can do. Wear underwear on your head, which is what I'm going to do. And they're going to think, he's taking her home for a visit. Yeah. Well, it's April Fool's Day. I hope you have a good one. You'll know whether someone has a sense of humor. If they don't, I wouldn't try it. Or, I don't know. Take care of yourself. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll talk to Ash about what I'll be able to do around here, and I'll have to clean up very well because she's a very clean person. So if she's going to come over here to go to the bathroom, can't have piles of clothes on the floor or things out of place. Yeah, it's not that I'm dirty, it's just I'm messy. I'm the kind of person that could go to work and look like I've been there all day. Where there's people, she would be the kind of person that is all day at work and look like she just got there. I always envied that kind of person. But how wound up inside would they have to be that way? I don't know. I used to be wound a lot tighter. And then I just said, I have got to let go. I haven't let go so much that it can't be retrieved. But you take care of yourselves. I love you all. I'm glad you're there. We need some levity. We need each other. No matter what our background is, we need each other. Humans we live in societies. Yeah, it's fine to be a loner, but once in a while, you actually do need to bounce ideas off of somebody. That's just the way humans are made, I guess. You take care of yourself, human. And any aliens out there, hi. And I could turn into one of those YouTubers like and subscribe here. I promise you I'll be walking around in underwear. With clothes on top, of course. Upward and onward.